All right.
Want to
in that
access your
case-
account? Fuck no. Jesus.
Uh,
Oh, here
either
we go.
way, I'm probably going to dip for the night, I think. But if you guys are on tomorrow,
Yeah, I'll be on.
probably figure something to do tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, no. If, I will talk to you guys later.
Perfect.
Cool. Peace.
Mitch, you watch his videos? Watch this. Oh, what do you, Genshin? Can they hear me? Okay.
Wouldn't gliding be
Some,
faster? Think you can get away?
information.
Brace yourself.
Yeah, it is.
Here we go.
I had one, remember? Oh. I'm looking 1 second. Like 9,000. Okay, let's go from the list. Yeah. It's in the top 30, yeah. Better than GTFO. Well, it's like a new update comes out that completely fuck up the game.
Brace
Like,
yourself.
that was unplayable. That second level, holy crap.
Here we go.
What, the new one?
Brace yourself.
Okay. I remember being able to beat level 2, though. Yeah. Like, I don't want it just to be handed to me, but it's very Dark Souls.
Time for takeoff.
Yeah, I'm probably getting off for the night.
La la la.
Yeah. Did you see that option for like the co-stream? It's under the tags. Yeah, I did co-op, and then I kind of set that up and kind of forgot to change it.
Time for
2 came on.
takeoff.
Yeah, we need to figure out them hashtags a little better. Oh, perfect. I had like fucking knitting. No, I should. No, I'll just add fucking knitting. Alright, man. Yeah, I'll be on. Peace.
Yeah. Dumpy dumpy. La la la. Time for takeoff. La la la. Let's dance. Think you can get away? La la la. Brace yourself. What? Brace yourself. Yeah. Wouldn't gliding be fast? Think you can get away? La la la. Wouldn't gliding be faster? Here we go! Dumpty Dumpty go! Here we go! How rude! Let the show begin! Let's play! Huh? Think you can get away? Dumpty Dumpty Doo! Boing, boo! Huh? Huh? get away? Jumpy Dumpy Go! Ah, da da da! Huh? Woo! Time for takeoff. Jumpy Dumpy Go! Oh, protect us! Da da da! Here we go. Jumpy Dumpy Go! Jumpy Dumpy Go! Ooh, ooh, ah. Ah. Ooh, ooh, ah. Think you can get away? Jumpy Dumpy da da da! Ooh, ooh. Let's dance! take off. Let's play. Brace yourself. Think you can get away? Dumpty dumpty pop!
So this is why we're not getting electricity inside of the arena, huh? Champions Club, don't worry. I know exactly what to do. Stier! Sturm haraka den sterna herra! Stier la harra ster! Murka da stira da harra! Stira la harra! Stemara harra! Stira harra!
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Ha! We did it, Champions Club. Let me get Alex on the phone now. Alex!
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
No, you didn't restore the energy. I did. Good to hear that you're safe. Get up into the command center. We got a show to put on. In the meantime, Champions Club, follow me to my brand new parking garage. The beauty of the 1990 Lamborghini Diablo VT protected. Finally. Take a look. It cost me $475 million. Was it worth it? No. But it was. Think about it.
How long do you spend in front of the screen each day? How do you feel at the end of it? If not 100%, then I want to introduce you to Felix Gray.
Let the show begin! Wouldn't gliding be fast? Think you can get away? time for takeoff. Boing, boing, boom! Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you? These bombs, so heavy. Dodoko? Dodoko, where are you? Here we go. Yeah. Think you can get away? Boing, boing, boom! Yeah, boom! Here we go. Da da da. Let the show begin. Brace yourself. Yeah. Wouldn't got time for takeoff. Let the show begin. Brace yourself. Think you can get away? Wouldn't... Boing, boing, boom! Yahoo! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster? La la la. Let's play. Dumpy dumpy go. Yahoo! Go, Barbara, go! Time for takeoff. Go, Barbara, go! Wouldn't gliding be fast? Let's dance! Jumpy, jumpy, go! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster? Yahoo! Jumpy, jumpy, go! La la la. La la la. I'll protect us! Here we go. Here we go. Huh. Huh? Huh? Time for takeoff. Boing, boing, boom. Hi-ya. I wouldn't go. Let's go. That really hurt. Let the show begin. La la la. Ha ha. Here we go. Yeah, 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 Jumpy Dumpty go! I'll protect us! Woo! Brace yourself. Boing, boing, boing. La la la. Da da da. Brace yourself. Time for takeoff. Boing, boing, boing. Dumpty, dumpty, sparky, splash. That really hurt. Wouldn't gliding be faster? You think you can get away? Brace yourself. Time for takeoff. Let's play! Huh? Brace yourself. Nice and spicy. Blink. Let me amuse you. Over here. Shine longer. Let the show begin. Time for takeoff. Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster? Brace yourself. Oh my. La la la. Jumpy, jumpy, go. It's bomb. La la la. Woo. Time for takeoff. Boing, boing, boing. Boing, boing, boing. Brace yourself. Brace yourself. Let's dance! Right. Time for takeoff. Jumpy, jumpy, go! Yahoo! La la la! Boing, boing, boing! Brace yourself. Let the show begin. Let's play! Jumpy, jumpy, go! Woo-hoo! Wouldn't gliding be faster? Let's play! Think you can get away? gliding be faster? I'll protect us! Let's play! Jumpy Dumpy Poo! Jumpy Dumpy Poo! Da-da-da! Think you can get away? Let the show begin! Ouch! La la la! Brace yourself! La la la! Yeah! Let the show begin! Wouldn't gliding be faster? bombs so These bombs so heavy. Explosion inside city wall. Grounded be thy woe. Explosions can hurt people. Oh, these bombs. Wanna come fish blasting with me? I'll get grounded. For a whole Dodoko? Explosion inside city wall. Oh, grounded be thy. La la la.
jumping in to the arena inside of Rogue Company.
In the following video, you are going to see a CNN update of the Pennsylvania elections in live time. What you're going to notice is that Pennsylvania, which you can see here, Trump and Biden, Trump was leading. He had 1,690,589 votes. Biden had 1,252,537 votes. Trump was well in the lead. I'm going to let this video finish, and then at the end, I'm going to pause it. And I want you to remember this number. 1,690 for Trump, 1,252 for Biden, and then we're going to do some math.
And that would push, you know, and again, if you come at this from a Republican perspective, I did Joe Biden's math to get him up. Donald Trump's leading here. He's leading here. He's leading here. We expect him to win here. That's his. This one's interesting. We expect him to get this. And these normally would be Trump states out here and Alaska. So again, we're open to being surprised, but if it plays out in a traditional map, that's where we're going to be. That's where we'll be as we go to the West Coast, somewhere in that ballpark. It's not an exact science, but somewhere in that ballpark.
So here we go. We've had 30 seconds of updates. Pennsylvania is in. But look, Trump has lost 19,950 votes. Now here's the thing. Did a little work here, and I want you to see this in Photoshop. At the beginning of the clip, Trump has 1,690,000. The update comes, Trump is up 440,000 votes. Trump loses 19,958, but guess what? Biden gains those votes. Take a look at Biden. 1,252,000 votes to 1,272,000 votes. If this doesn't raise a red flag for the judiciaries of Pennsylvania, we know this happened in Nevada. There's other videos. Who's to say this hasn't happened all over the world? You know, Scorecard doesn't have to take over every county in a state. It just has to help Biden lose by 3% less in the state so they can backpack the ballots at the end. Trump has won this election. This has to be called into question. We want Congress.
I got some exciting late-breaking news this hour that you are going to want to spread everywhere. Tweet, email, text message, everybody. America. Late-breaking news this hour that you are going to want to spread everywhere. Tweet, email, text message, everybody. America needs to see this. Biden losing president-elect status after the Pennsylvania win has been ripped from his grasp. Now, before I get into the details, if you're new here, tap the red button down below to subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you're the first to know when the latest news is published. This is huge news, my friends. Pam Bondi, who is Florida's former Attorney General and former Special Advisor to President Trump, Office of White House Counsel, tweeted out some very good news for President Trump and devastating news for Joe Biden. She tweeted this: 2020 president election live results, Real Clear Politics just rescinded their call for Biden winning Pennsylvania. News Talk 850 WFTL, who broadcasts out of the president's town of West Palm Beach, reports that Real Clear Politics withdrew Biden's president-elect status Monday night after stripping him of Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes. They write that RCP reversed Biden's win in Pennsylvania, bringing him back down below the 270 threshold to 259 electoral votes. They state that sources argue that Real Clear Politics never called Pennsylvania to begin with in the presidential race, and the live results reversal comes as votes continue to be counted and lawsuits fly. Real Clear Politics is based in Chicago, claims to be an independent, nonpartisan political news media company. It's also a polling and data aggregator. All this is happening as the U.S. Attorney General William Barr has authorized federal prosecutors across the U.S. to pursue substantial allegations of voting irregularities before the 2020 presidential election is certified. It's also worth mentioning that CNN has Arizona in the gray column as well. Benny Johnson on Twitter made note of the spread in a tweet. He put out this tweet stating that breaking news, Donald Trump is now within 1% of Biden in Arizona. Have you heard that from our sycophantic DNC media? No. Biden has won, according to Google and the Associated Press. They state here that Joe Biden has 1,648,642 votes. Trump has 1,633,896. As of this report, a little more than 14,000 votes separate Biden and Trump. So don't believe the media hype that Biden is the winner. The fight has only just begun, and it's all swaying back in President Trump's favor. Get this out there, friends. This is huge news. They just rescinded their call for Biden winning Pennsylvania. Devastating news for the Biden campaign. This is something that is excellent for the Trump campaign. Continue to share this report and tune in to Next News Network for the latest. Comment below, and we'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.
You possess the power to impact the global narrative. Please share this report, and to get more videos like this, become a Next News subscriber by clicking the link below. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. There are a lot of things you want to know about Kamala Harris, and we plan to tell you. But the first thing to know about Harris is that in just a few months she could run your country. If Joe Biden wins...
Ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
Sure, I'll play you another tune, but it'll cost you an apple.
Ancient alchemy truly is fascinating.
Welcome. How can I help you?
Oh, they with him. You're a big shit. Piece of fucking shit.
Wait, come back. Wait.
God fucking damn it. This place sucks dick. Oh, that looks great stuff. Great stuff. Nice. It appears that he is very stupid.
Hey, don't have a cow, man. Okay? Hey. Hey, don't. Where are you going?
Ooh,
Dude, out of character, what's your voice really sound like?
What's up, dude?
There's no way out of character that's what your voice really sounds like.
Hey, man.
It is what his voice really sounds like. Do you have a
What do you mean?
Yeah,
My voice sounds normal. This guy's being a jerk.
You guys. I'm not gonna lie, but I love you guys. Dude, I need to go. I'm being called for duty.
Oh, how sad. I hope you have a good
Admins
day.
have got to work too.
Ooh, you're an admin. Oh, I'll get you.
What? Oh, get you. What the hell is it? Boop boop chicka boom.
Guitars for sale. Who wants a guitar?
Guitars for sale. Hello,
Guitars
officer.
for sale.
Would you like a guitar? I am selling.
Guitars for sale.
It's right there. Yeah, want some?
Guitars
we have
and bongos as far as
we
the
have a
eye can
guitar.
see.
We have a guitar, and we have a bongo.
Guitars
if you
and
want, dude.
bongos, one for your wife, one for your dog.
Yeah, you can have one if you want. What the fuck are you doing here? This
Yeah,
guy?
what
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Whoa,
Shit, I meant to beat up the other guy. Oh no, that guy was beating me up earlier. I don't know why I still have these bongos in my hand.
Get away from the guitars, motherfucker!
Officer, please kill that guy. He's been killing us.
Yeah! Christ!
Stop
That's the
resisting.
law.
Stop
He's getting
resisting.
cooked by the long hard dick of the law. Ha ha!
Ew.
You look like a silly
What the
boy.
hell
Like
is
that
that
position?
thing? He's not human. That thing isn't human.
My
You have
guitars!
to explain yourself, sir.
He stole all
These
the
guys are
guitars we
selling
had
guitars and bongos.
He stole our
and he's
guitars!
coming
He
and
sold them
punching
to the
them.
black market!
Officer, I want to apologize for punching you. You're within the radius, and it kind of just turned my character towards you, which was an accident.
It happens all the time. You fucking
This
knocked
guy
my head
makes
and my
me
braces
so
off,
mad
though.
I could just lift.
It's
Oh.
okay. You can have my glasses. Oh look, look at my grandfather doing a sit down.
I am better
Right,
than
so
you.
I'm going to
yeah.
uncuff you. If you punch these gentlemen again, you'll be going to jail, alright? I'm giving you a
Yeah.
warning.
Try it again, pussy bitch. Try it again.
I'd advise you to walk away.
Yeah, get out of here. We're selling guitars. Get
Thank you very much, sir. Just ignore them.
Sir, I would like to shake your hand.
Sir, I didn't even put my hand up. You just shake.
Oh,
fucking
come
idiot.
on, buddy.
How about a salute? Oh, you're a good guy.
No. Okay. We're getting a bit too comfortable here, aren't we?
Oh God.
Alright,
Damn.
I'm gonna leave you gentlemen
That shit's
to,
whack.
you guys on
Thank you,
drugs?
police.
Oh, come here, man. Come here. I love you. Wait, look, come
Oh,
here.
man,
Wait,
he-
just come here really quick.
Take
Please
a
come here.
guitar.
Just stand there, right in front of me. Alright, ready? Wait. Oh man, come on, it disappeared. Wait, just stay there for a second. Okay? Stay there. Don't move.
Shit, what the fuck?
Okay, that was it. That's literally all I had. What the fuck? Stop, don't do that ever. Oh! I love you. Stop.
I
That's it.
am
Goodbye.
Jesus Christ reincarnated.
In the closet. In the closet. Sorry, what were you saying? Truly a blessing. Guess what? Chicka chicka boom. Chicka boom.
Chicka chicka boom.
Ha! Holding some beer,
Bongo
huh?
and the guitar. Put him on the floor. Make a massive
Proboscis.
pile.
Adventures!
Get out of here.
Gable!
We see you. Oh, ugh. You killed me. I'm dead.
I'm sorry.
Cool. I'm a little weird guy in swim trunks.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, I love swimming so much. Coming. Yeah.
That's your new character.
Yeah, I love swimming more than anything. I have a good feeling about crashing into this guy. Yeah.
Crumshling.
Hey guys, I love swimming.
What happened?
Fuck you.
I just fucking smashed into a guy while he was starting a street race, and I totaled his car, and he went, "Fuck you."
Out swimming. Fucking destroyed his entire life. She was walking by like, I can't wait for this. Why am I dead? I just fell to the ground. I didn't even like.
You like swimming? Check this out. Yeah. Yeah. Swimming's so fun. Yeah. Wee. I found. Yeah.
Oh no!
I'm trying to swim.
I'm so sorry.
Stop,
This really
you're
pains
killed.
me to be
You
doing this.
fucking
right
killed
now.
me.
Whoa.
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Hello? Hello, boys? You boys wanna go swimming?
What up, boy? You looking fine as hell.
You like swimming, motherfucker?
I would like to take a swim with you, boy.
Yeah, just get in our car and we'll go for swim.
Don't take my car, goddammit!
Wait, is there only one police station?
Nice shot.
You guys
Bro,
kill
follow
people.
me. Follow me real quick. Please just follow me.
Oh man, that's me.
God damn
So
it.
what are you guys up to, huh? Ah, what the fuck? What was that for?
Get out of here, you queer!
Oh, you a waiter, boy. Get out of here.
Me?
You fucking McDonald's mascot. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Jesus Christ, I'm just trying to be nice. No! No, 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 no!
Ride the
No!
lightning, boy.
Jesus!
Let's go and let's start working at LSP right here.
Okay, sorry about that.
Get in, bro.
Oi, weirdo, get in the car, man.
I'm sorry for what I did, man.
Hello?
It's okay. Let's go! Go, go, go!
Okay, so do you want to go swimming?
Yeah! Let's go swimming! You guys have fun,
Get in,
okay?
get in, bro. Get in.
Okay. Okay, okay. Whoa! Holy fuck! This is the LA River!
Yeah.
You can't
You can-
swim
you
in
can
this
swim there.
shithole!
Yes, you can, man.
I don't want to swim in this shithole!
Okay, man, bro. Stand on the edge and we'll jump together, okay?
Oh, if you say so.
Bro, stand on the edge, man. Oh, I like you. I like those abs, bro.
Oh, thanks, man. I've been working on them.
Walking.
Have you ever heard the Have you ever heard about electricity and water?
I've never heard that one
Sir?
before.
Okay, feel it.
There he goes.
Oh, why? Why, my friend?
Oh, dude.
You know what, guy? You know what, dude?
Stop! No!
I like you. I like you. I want to give you some money, bro.
I want just my pet. I want just my pet.
Woo! Woo!
I want to make Chinese food out of you.
Lay the fuck down, man.
I will use my. I will use you as my army.
What?
Stay there, stay there, stay there. You know I have this taser, man, and you know it fucking hurts, okay? Get in the back of the car, okay?
What if
I bet you taste better than cat and dog together.
Don't fucking play music right now, man.
Look, free music for
Get in the car.
Okay, I'll get in the car.
Get in the fucking car.
I'm
Get in the
getting
fucking
in the
car,
car.
man.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
If you drive off, I'm gonna kill you, okay? Thing. Okay, you better get up. You better get out. You better fucking get out.
Nope. See you later. No.
Very nice.
Very nice.
They got away.
I'm reporting them to the authorities. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, what the fuck?
Whoa! No! Please! I just escaped
Get
the
away
worst,
from the car. I'll shoot you.
the worst nightmare of my life. Deputy! Deputy!
Police! Police!
There's freaking no one here. This place sucks dick. What is your name? Oh!
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh!
My brother! Why?
Huh?
to suggest widespread fraud or corruption. There's just no evidence of that at this stage.
It's time for the president's lawyers to present the facts, and then it's time for those facts to speak for themselves. It's going to be much easier to work toward the kind of transition we want. Almost every state within 7 to 10 days of the election goes through that entire canvas. There are always some changes. Seems unlikely that any changes could be big enough to make a difference, but this is a close election.
The president's speech last night was very disturbing to me because he made very, very serious allegations without any evidence to support it. If it's happened, then the evidence needs to come out, but I'm not aware of any such evidence.
Where I have a real problem with what's going on is when a president starts alleging voter fraud without evidence of that. Just let the votes be counted, fight it out in court. You know, we can have a Bush v. Gore 2000 if y'all want to do this. But what we can't do is to start saying over and over,
After putting in hundreds of hours, Hero knows how to end conflicts. With an excellent substat for an area that will deal inconsistent damage because of a long 15-second cooldown, it will still be extremely potent, especially if you have a good crit damage stat, which will result in some attacks just elements help them out immensely. Distance, but in return, you get critical hits. It is a more reliable source of damage you can get for your bow users, since you need to hit the enemy's weak spot, which from both their basic attack skill improvement once you switch to another character, which increases your elemental damage bonus once you trigger an elemental reaction, and you can easily expect this buff to have a reliable uptime without worrying too much. It's a lonely life for Xiangling, as she's currently the only polearm user in the game, but at least she and future polearm characters can look forward to some great weapons, which this time around, if you're just starting out, it will be the halberd. And this is an easy weapon to go for, no matter if you're going to be support or main damage dealer, since the attack it provides from its substat will increase your overall
You'll find no...
damage, and not to mention the passive is also going to be a cherry on top. Now if you're ready to start dealing some serious damage, making the switch to Crescent Pike is going to yield some incredible results. Although it might seem the passive skill is hard to trigger, it's actually quite easy since your elemental skills, except for a few characters, will generate these elemental particles. And once you got the buff activated, you're not dealing 20% increased damage, but even better, each of your attacks will generate an extra attack that's going to be 20% of your real damage. Basically, you're now dealing almost double the amount of attacks, and each of them can become critical hits, and you also get the benefit from the physical damage bonus which the weapon substat provides. Before we continue onto our last remaining weapons, here's a few honorable mentions that work exceptionally well with some characters in the game. The first one is Compound Bow, which is going to be, not to mention for Noelle, almost rivals with Prototype Aminus in terms of overall value. If there's one thing the developers love in Genshin Impact, then it would be the sword users. With so many characters to choose from, the most safest investment when you're starting out is going to be the Fillet Blade, and it has everything you want from a weapon. Attack from the substat and a passive that is the younger sibling version of Prototype Aminus. It also just till mid-game. The final weapon on this list is something that everyone should have in their backpack, and that's Prototype Rancor. Although it gives physical damage bonus from its substat, most of the sword users, aside from few, actually benefit from increased attack damage, since characters like Jean heal from their basic attacks, and if you're using the Traveler as your main damage dealer, then obviously this is just going to make them stronger. Finally, it's worth mentioning the passive skill will increase your base attack and defense by a sizable amount just from hitting the enemy a few times. All in all, a very solid weapon that's completely free-to-play friendly. Picking the top weapon for your character is just one piece of the puzzle since everyone's situation is different, and for this reason, this video was made with an intention to only address 3-star weapons and anything that can be crafted from the blacksmith. We must also take into the account artifacts and weapons you can get from the gacha system, as well as the fact that many characters are unique and work best with specific weapons, like the example you saw with Noelle. Either way, getting to know at least few good options when you're just starting out should help you out in the long run. Not to mention, this should help you understand which weapon can give the most benefits to more than one character. Enjoyed the video? Make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and gently press the like button. Don't forget to check out our other Genshin Impact guides, which also includes a tier list that you can also visit on our website gachagamer.com. Thank you for watching us. Make your characters grow fast with these 5 solutions and unlock more content in Genshin Impact. The more you advance in the game, the more you will start to realize that things are getting increasingly expensive. Naturally, you will acquire a lot of more during your explorations and many other activities, but once you start working on more than one character, you'll need to get creative. The first way you can squeeze extra mora out of your adventures would be by selling off your 1 and 2-star artifacts, but only after you get past adventure rank 30. You can go to your inventory and at the artifacts section, click on the trash bin icon and select all the artifacts you want to sell off. This is an aggressive method of gaining mora, but it comes with another benefit. When you're leveling your artifacts, you might have noticed that sometimes you get 2 or even 5 times the amount of experience points randomly, and this can be a huge setback if you're using lower tier artifacts for upgrading, since the boost could have been bigger if 3-star artifacts were used instead. So if you're past rank 30 and you want to get mora and maybe even lucky with random experience boosts, selling off your lower tier artifacts can come a long way. Finally, another good way to make mora would be by visiting areas of the map that include lakes or other water sources. You should be able to find floating junk boxes that contain sigils, which you can then exchange at the souvenir shop for extra mora. Of course, only do this exchange once you've acquired all the other items from the shop. The never-ending problem of never having enough original resin keeps many of us awake at nights. And because we only get a limited amount of resin each day, we need to figure out a smart way to work with our daily allowance. Once you have identified characters you want to grow, take notice of what materials they need for their talents, weapons, and ascension. The most important thing you need to keep in mind is when do these materials become available during the week. The next part would be to check what materials you need to level your talents and if you have plenty of them available. Talents give one of the biggest boosts to your character's growth, so make this your first priority when a domain with your character's talent level up materials becomes available. Next on the list would be weapon ascension materials, which are actually even more rare than talent materials since they don't even drop from chests. Finally, use any of the remaining resin for world bosses. To keep it short, put highest emphasis on farming talent materials, then weapons, and then finally world bosses, followed by anything else you might consider important, like leyline deposits. Many of us become overwhelmed from the amount of artifacts we can choose from, so picking the right ones can become crucial at saving resources and growing your characters faster. The first and most safest investment you can always make is the Feather artifact, since it provides attack that gives most benefit, especially once it's maxed out on your main damage dealer or even support characters. Second easy choice would be the Flower artifact, which gives more survivability, which is especially relevant in places like the Spiral Abyss. These two should provide enough to kickstart your character's growth, no matter if you fulfill any of the set bonuses or not. If you do aim for bonuses, you can invest into Instructor's set for anyone who is used for creating reactions, or Exile's set if you have characters who have very good elemental bursts so that you can activate them more often. Finally, for damage dealers, you will have plenty of Berserker set pieces available, which can then be further improved once you start acquiring Gladiator set from world bosses. Also, keep in mind that farming for artifact sets from domains is very inefficient since it won't provide any other benefits to grow your characters or weapons. Just use anything that's available from your adventures and leave the artifact farming once you're past rank 35 or even 40. If you only have limited amount of time, make sure to identify which monster materials you need for your talents, ascension, and weapons. This is far more easier to do since all monsters reset daily and you can hunt them down from your adventure book. You will have less problems to think about if you can manage to clear all the monsters that you specifically need for upgrading. Keep in mind, if you're still lacking materials like the Spiral Abyss, these two should provide enough to kickstart your character's growth, no matter if you fulfill any of the set bonuses or not. If you do aim for bonuses, you can invest into Instructor set for anyone who's used for creating reactions, or Exile set if you have characters who have very good elemental bursts so that you can activate them more often. Finally, for damage dealers, you will have plenty of Berserker set pieces available, which can then be further improved once you start acquiring Gladiator set from world bosses. Also, keep in mind that farming for artifact sets from domains is very inefficient since it won't provide any other benefits to grow your characters or weapons. Just use anything that's available from your adventures and leave the artifact farming once you're past rank 35 or even 40. If you only have limited amount of time, make sure to identify which monster materials you need for your talents, ascension, and weapons. This is far more easier to do since all monsters reset daily and you can hunt them down from your adventure book. You will have less problems to think about if you can manage to clear all the monsters that you specifically need for upgrading. Keep in mind, if you're still lacking materials, you can go to the in-game shop and purchase more of them with your Stardust, but only do this once you have acquired all the Acquaint Fates. But don't even bother spending Star Glitter because it's far too valuable to be wasted and instead should be saved up for the 4-star weapons or characters. The last solution is going to help you tie all the loose ends you have. Every Sunday, all domains become available for weapons and talent materials. This is the best day to check out and see what you're missing from getting those upgrades done. One important thing to note, even if you're a free-to-play player, spending at least once for Resin Refresh can give you a lot of options to work with, especially if you have a character or weapon that's one material away from getting ascended. This way, you can avoid from waiting until any of the domains become available again. To summarize, character growth will always be limited by Mora, and you can get an extra amount of it like checking for floating junk boxes or selling off low tier artifacts. To optimize growth, always spend resin on talent and weapon domains first, and since you get a lot of artifacts already, invest into feather and flower first, then work with the sets you have. You should also, at the minimum, farm elite monsters for your specific characters, and if you ever have any loose ends, you can rely on Sunday every week to get any missing materials. Enjoyed the video? Make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, and gently press the like button. And make sure to check out our other Genshin Impact guides or visit us at gotchagamer.com. Thank you for watching us.
What's up guys, it's your boy Damone and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Today we're going to be talking about which dungeon you should farm and why and when exactly. I've been getting a lot of questions as to, yo D, are domains worth it? Should I get a particular set? Should I go for the witch set? Should I go for some other set? Cookie Monster set? What's up guys, it's your boy Damone and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Battle Pass and the new packs. I wanted to hit this video and talk about this before the new packs came into effect for 1.1, so hopefully you guys are catching this video before tomorrow, which is the 10th. The reason being is because it looks like there's going to be some new packs coming to the shop. Now, before we get into the packs, I wanted to talk to you guys specifically about the Battle Pass. Because the Battle Pass looks like it's going to be exactly the same. I know, I hear you. You guys are probably expecting new weapons in the Battle Pass. I was hoping, but it looks like they're trying to stretch this out. And I was getting a question on stream as to whether or not you should just get a weapon that you already have and max refine, or if you should just try to get all of the weapons. Now, the kicker is this. Considering that every 6 weeks, let's just assume that they're just going to keep this Battle Pass up, and this is just it. It would take you a long time to get all the weapons and max refine them, and we don't even know if they're going to end up adding these to the standard banner or not. So these could be a one-time thing, so if for collection sake you're just trying to get them just to have them even though you have no intention of using them, go for it. If you guys have the worst weapon pulling or summoning luck in the world, then I would say it might be more beneficial for you to invest in refining these weapons so you can maximize your damage output here. And you guys can look at each of your Battle Pass weapons to confirm whether or not, you know, you feel it's strong enough or it's helpful for you. Like the Black Sword, I think could be really, really good, you know, just because it's just already OP. Not to mention that on these weapons you get the base crit, so it's going to help you guys out regardless. And that's kind of my take there. So unfortunately, Battle Pass looks like it's going to stay the same, at least for a while. And if this is any representation of what the pattern is going to be, we're not going to see new Battle Pass weapons for at least 6 months. So let's just hang out, be patient, and just see what happens. Now, for my pay-to-win peeps out there that are buying the weekly packs, there are some new packs that are going to be coming to town along with Santa Claus. And the first pack is going to be the Adventurer's Instructional Bundle, which comes with 30,000 Mora, 40 Adventure Rank XP. Okay, it's going to be really good. And this bundle costs 100 Genesis Crystals, and it's 40% off for a limited time. Can be purchased up to 5 times in total. All right. So it looks like they're placing more of an emphasis on being able to actually build your characters now, which is kind of nice, even though we're still kind of gated by resin. The next one up is going to be the Adventurer's Ore Bundle, which is going to be Mora times 30,000, Mystic Enhancement Ore times 25. Okay, and this bundle costs 120 Genesis Crystals. You can buy this up to 5 times in total as well, and that's a lot of ore. Now, last but not least, we're getting another one called the Adventurer's Special Bundle. So now 3 packs this time. And the amount of packs, listen, you guys can just expect for these to just keep going up. But this one comes with 120k Mora, 40 Heroes Wit, right? Even more character XP. And you get the Exotic Share Bundle, which then gives you character Ascension materials. Now, you guys can get these for 680 crystals, but you can only buy these 3 times in total. So now this refreshes every week, pretty sure. These refresh every week. I don't know if these are going to stack on the old pack that was already in there. But for those of you guys who are buying the weekly packs, I would make sure that you guys get the old pack so you can just knock it out, right? So that you guys can be ready for this one to reset, because it doesn't look like these come with any fragile resin. And fragile resin was the big selling point of the last one, but it doesn't look like they're going that route this time. Not that it matters anyway, because level 50 to 60 for me personally is going to take 10 years regardless. So I wanted to show you guys these. So if you guys are thinking about buying the weekly packs, you guys got an opportunity to get a ton of weapon XP and character XP. If you guys are having issues leveling up your characters or have a shortage of materials, you guys can look at these, and for like 100 to, you know, I would say the first 2 packs, like 100 to 120 Genesis Crystals, is actually kind of a steal. Like I don't think, man, I probably wouldn't pass on those. I mean, it's kind of a good deal. Now, the 681, it's arguable. If you need it, get it. If not, you know, it's up to you. But I personally will probably pick them up. I'll let you guys know how they fare. If you guys got questions about them, just ask me in the stream, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. But again, guys, just wanted to share this information with you guys, talk to you guys about the Battle Pass and how it's basically going to be the same. And then, you know, whether or not, you know, what you guys should do with that, depending on, you know, where you're at in the game. And then also, again, showcase the new packs coming on Tuesday at 2 p.m. So I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
You want anything?
No, I'm good, babe.
Can I get a quarter pounder with cheese? Make that too. Thank you. Hey, but I thought you said you...
But you got 2.
Get it at McDonald's when you buy one of your faves and get another for just $1.
Water waving sword flailing Jingju. Water waving sword flailing Jingju. Water Water-waving, sword-flailing Xingqiu. Hi, we're Jinx and Tuner, owner and operator.
Either him or me does support both of us.
I hear the
So
voice of
now,
fate.
I did explain exactly what happened in the previous video, link in the top right in the description to that. And also, for the sake of getting this out as soon as possible, I am going to do very minimal editing, so it's really just going to be me talking over background footage. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of why Xingqiu is such a potent 4-star character that, in my opinion, outperforms over half the 5 stars in the game, I do want to just quickly preface this by, even though I am saying you should get him if you're able to, if you cannot afford to make polls, do not spend money you cannot afford. This is a game, it's supposed to be entertainment, it's not supposed to affect your actual life negatively. However, if you do have the disposable income to make more polls, or you have saved up Primogens, here's why you should pull for Xingqiu. Xingqiu is, with caveats, in my humble opinion, the strongest 4-star in the game at any phase of the game in basically every team composition. In my personal 4-star power rankings, I place him right next to Bennett as strongest 4-star in the game in general. And yes, Razor, Official Beidou, and Sucrose are also up there. I'll be doing a video in the future talking about these 4-stars and why they're better than basically every character in the game, including half the 5-stars. Guys, 5-stars aren't that great with the exception of Cleve, Daeluke, Kei-Ching, as well as Venti. I am fighting a level 6 weekly Wolf in the background footage right now, and my team is composed of a level 70 Bennett, 2 level 60s between Xingqiu and Zhang Ling, and then my Sucrose is only level 40. And because Bennett's my carry, he's the only one with a stacked artifact set. My Xingqiu is outputting these numbers, and he only has a plus 20 Hydro Cup and a plus 16 Feather. Everything else is plus 0. Admittedly, my Xingqiu, Zhangling, and Sucrose do have a few constellations on them, which does probably increase their overall output by roughly 30 to 20% or so, but still, look at the values on screen. And yes, my Bennett's constellation 0, I haven't gotten one in a shop yet because I'm saving my pulls for child. And my Zhangling and Sucrose are both running very minimally upgraded sets for Venera and Witches respectively. And I also don't use any 5-star weapons on either of my accounts because I find it biases my understanding of good team comps too much. And the only level 80 weapon I have is my Black Sword on Bennett. Every other character in this team is running a level 60 or level 50 weapon. You do not need 5 stars to have good teams in this game. You just need to understand how to build good teams, as well as understand how to funnel resources efficiently into your teams. Again, future video talking about that, and also the next masterclass to come out is going to be about how to build team comps and how to get effective cheap deeps. Keep in mind, I did eat a perfect Adeptus Temptation for this background footage because real talk, what else are you going to use them on other than weekly bosses? You can't eat food in the Abyss. Now, I will be discussing Xingqiu's strengths and power level, however, I will only be scratching the surface of his depth. For any of the information I don't cover in this video, like artifact sets, etc., be sure to check out the translated Xingqiu handbook for everything you have ever wanted to know about this wet femboy. Direct link to the translated Xingqiu handbook will be in the description. And one final thing about terminology changes, so I am no longer going to be calling characters like Xingqiu a sub-carry, I'm going to be calling them reaction supports. This is the EN term versus the CN term, and the reason I'm switching it is because sub-carry has suddenly become a bit confusing now that double carry teams like Daeluke plus Bennett teams have kind of become a thing. So moving forward, I'm just going to call them reaction supports because it's a little bit clearer, so if you ever hear me say the term sub-carry in a previous video, that's what I mean when I say reaction support. I'm also going to be referring to Xingqiu's potency as a burst support. A burst support is basically just a support who comes on the field, presses a button or two, and adds a bunch of damage value to the team. Also, if you watch my previous videos, you've heard me refer to motion value before. I'm going to start referring to that from now on as talent damage percentage. This talent damage percentage is what is listed under your talent details of what percent of your This talent damage percentage is what is listed under your talent details of what percent of your attack that your ability deals in damage. In Monster Hunter World and fighting games, this is called a motion value. However, simply calling it a talent damage percentage is going to be more consistent with the in-game names, so I'm going to try to transition into saying that instead of motion value. And finally, I'm going to be referring to Xingqiu's elemental skill and elemental burst a lot, so if I ever say E, that's the button for elemental skill. If I ever say Q, that's the button for his ult. Alright, so now that we're getting into the real nitty-gritty of why you should get Xingqiu, allow me to summon all of my past experience selling several $100 bottles of wine to guests at the various restaurants I've consulted at in the past and explain to you why XQ should be something you get today before the ban goes away, assuming you can afford it. So, point number 1, he is the best reaction support in many of the best team comps for the best carries in the game. This means he pairs fantastically with many of the courses, I mean many of the characters that you might be enjoying eating tonight, I mean you might be running. If you run him with Daeluke, Klee, or Bennett, you suddenly have a very potent Vaporize team where he is making all of their abilities and a lot of Klee's basic attacks and charge attacks deal 50% more damage just because they're wet. Now you may be wondering, why don't we go for a melt comp on Klee specifically? After all, that's 2 times damage instead of 1.5 times damage. And that's because functionally right now there is not a single cryo support in the game that can keep up with Klee's fire application. In fact, I have run a Chi-Chi and Kaya with Klee and they still cannot keep up with the pyro application, so it ends up melting their cryo attacks instead of Klee's actual damage. However, Xingqiu's ult on its own keeps up with Klee and allows her to vaporize a lot of her damage outputs. Now, I will be testing Klee with Daeona when she comes out 1.1, but I'm not really convinced she's gonna have the cryo application to keep up with Klee still. In addition, for Daeluke and Bennett specifically, you can mix in a Chongyun support to convert them to cryo damage, so you freeze, shatter, and also melt them all the time. That being said, if you exclude Xingqiu in a Daeluke and Chongyun melt comp, you can fit in normally a Bennett and a Vanera support, which is a bit more output, but you lose the crowd control from freezing enemies. If you combine him with a Chongyun carry or a Razor carry, suddenly you have access to a freeze shatter comp, which is a lot more damage, additional CC, and in the case of Chongyun specifically, is his most powerful comp. And if you mix him with Keqing, you obviously have a very potent Electroshock team. Now, currently, the way Electroshock works is actually bugged, and MiHoYo has confirmed they're going to be changing that in 1.1. So the actual amount of investment you need to make an Electroshock team work in terms of investing in your Xingqiu may change in 1.1. We'll be testing it when it comes out. The point is, simply by Xingqiu's ult existing, these carries suddenly get so much extra damage added to their standard combo rotations and basic attacks just on raw virtue of him making things wet constantly. Really, the only carry that I do personally consider god tier that doesn't synergize well with him is Xiangling. The issue is because Xiangling is a physical carry that can neither provide either the electro or the cryo you want for the superconduct you need on physical teams, Xingqiu will unfortunately oftentimes eat up the cryo and electro support's elements with his water because he applies it so fast. This makes the superconduct uptime on a Xiangling team with a Xingqiu kind of iffy unless you intentionally are very good at making sure you apply superconductor intentionally, but that is a lot more micro intensive. And then vaporizing Xiangling's abilities isn't super great because they deal low damage per hit and vaporize is an amping reaction, but it is still more damage if again you can micro the superconducts properly. Now you can't always use him in every team because at the end of the day, in the end game of AR40, AR45 plus and late game Abyss of 9 through 12, you have to flex your team into different elements appropriate to the content you're facing. He is going to be hard to use in Abyss Floor 12 as well against any kind of Hydro enemy domain because he's Hydro damage, and because he does make himself wet during one instance during every E, he is going to freeze constantly on Abyss Floor 12. He is still usable on Abyss Floor 12, you just have to make sure you're always cleansing him before he ever pops his E. But otherwise, when you aren't flexing your team for different enemy content and leyline disorders, but you just want a general clearing team, he adds so much value as a reaction support. Point number 2 in Xingqiu's favor and why you should get him. He is also this best level reaction support at level 1. This means that this vintage, I mean Xingqiu, is a fantastic, rich, powerful amount of flavor, I mean damage for a fantastic value. This is because generally speaking in most compositions, Xingqiu is able to be the aura, not the trigger element, so his stats don't matter. Now if you don't know why him being in the aura element character is important, watch our masterclass on elemental reactions and how the elemental system works in the game and you'll understand what I'm talking about. For Vaporize teams, he still applies Vaporize to all of the Pyro abilities or to Klee's attacks at level 1 as long as he presses his ult. Interestingly enough, because of the travel time on Klee's attacks and charge attacks, you actually hit with Xingqiu's swords before her attacks do when you're at the correct distances, so you actually get very easy micro to get Vaporize on basically everything Klee does, with a level 1 reaction support. If you use him in a freeze comp, then he's going to be still applying the wet to allow you to freeze, shatter, or melt regardless of whether he's level 1 or not. Now admittedly, you're probably gonna level him to like at least level 40 so he doesn't get one shot by stuff, but regardless, this is the definition of cheap deeps. Really the only comp where he won't function at level 1 potency as a reaction support is in Electroshock, because currently he does function that way because of a bug, but they're gonna fix that, so we're gonna reassess it when 1.1 comes out. Third point in Xingqiu's favor of why you should get him. In addition to mechanically functioning as a very strong reaction support at level 1, he scales incredibly well with stat investment and is one of the best burst supports in the game when you
Hey ladies, when it's that time of the month, and okay, now that the men have hit skip, we can talk. Is your
stack him. So we're gonna go more into how you funnel resources efficiently in the Future Masterclass video, but generally speaking, the order of funneling resources goes: you stack your carries first into hyper carry status, you then focus on making sure your healers have sufficient output for your ability to dodge and the damage you take, etc. You then make sure your other supports have their +0 set bonuses they need to be the kind of strong support they need to be, and then you make sure everyone else has a decent feather and proper elemental damage cup to enhance the damage a little bit more, and then after that you focus your resources into increasing your burst support's damage outputs. Now, which of these damage supports you choose to then stack a bunch of damage onto depends on which ones get you more rewards for the investments. And in terms of burst support output for investment, the 4 best in the game currently are Venti, Beidou, Fischl, and Xingqiu. Ningguang is actually fairly close behind these guys, and she does have very high base values, but because she is Geo, she does trade out potential damage for the ability to make shields, which is fine because that's good game balance. Now, as far as I'm aware, these are the 4 best burst supports in the game currently. But in reality, the only one of these 4 that generally takes a higher priority for stacking over the Xingqiu in your team is going to be Venti. If you stack damage on Venti, he literally clears rooms by himself. Beidou can put out a massive amount of burst damage with switch perfect parries every 7.5 seconds, however, you have to get good at switch perfect parries to make her worth using. Now, Fischl also has a fairly comparable level of output to Xingqiu, however, her reactions are just, in my opinion, much worse. Compared to like running vaporized comps with Xingqiu, generally Fischl's running overload comps. These do have a higher potential damage ceiling, however, functionally speaking, overload is kind of scuffy against non-big opponents. Purely on paper, overload does output more damage than a lot of other team comps in the game, however, because overloads do boop away enemies who are smaller, you waste stamina and DPS uptime chasing after enemies. This also makes it incredibly hard to run overload teams with any kind of mechanics in your team that require a small circle area like Chongyun's E, like Jean's ult, or like Bennett's ult. If you can't tell, I'm not the biggest fan of overload teams because functionally they just play very scuffy. I mean, you still run overload on Abyss Floor 9 because your overloads do 3 times the damage.
La da 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 da. bad at...
But outside of that, I just don't like using them. Now let's talk about how much more damage he does get with investments. So at Ascension 4, he just straight up gets 20% more Hydro damage additively. This is a big amount of damage, and generally speaking, you leave him at this 60 out of 70 Ascension 4 because leveling up further isn't really worth the investment. And until we get higher level endgame content to have to tackle, pretty much all your burst support should be staying at this Ascension 4 60 out of 70. Really, the only characters that should be ever going past this in terms of resource efficiency of investment are your carries. This is because you get very little damage gains from your actual stats from leveling up past 60. But your carries should generally be higher level because there is a part of the damage formula that accounts for the level difference between the enemy and the character doing damage, so the carries doing the majority of damage in your team should probably be leveled up a bit. While ideally you want to level up your other characters as well, it's just incredibly expensive investment wise and not worth the damage gains for anything except for your carries. To give you a little bit of context on why it's not really that important for you to level up your characters past this point, the hardest content in the game currently is going to be Abyss Floor 12, where you fight up to level 100 enemies. Now, the first time I was ever able to climb to Abyss Floor 12-3, I was running 2 level 70 carries, 2 level 60 reaction supports, and then 2 level 40 supports on both teams. Unfortunately, I never actually got around to clearing 12-3 itself, because by the time I got there was an hour left on the reset, and I forgot to bring a second cryo unit for my other team, because by the way, Abyss Floor 12-3 has a level 100 Thunder Fatui on both sides. RIP. And yes, I had 0 5-star weapons in any of my characters. Now, I have since then leveled up my characters a little bit more, so I at least have another level 60 Ascension 4 in each team, and I am looking to try to get a 9-9 clear of 12-3 this time around. I just haven't been able to find any time to do Abyss. The point is that the levels don't matter as much as making sure you're efficiently resource funneling your characters, and increasing your character's levels you onto your carry is not efficient resource investments, at least past the point of Ascension 4. This may change in future content, but at the current moment, you don't need it. But yeah, going back to Xingqiu, he just has incredibly good scaling, and the only reason we don't prioritize scaling him before our carries is because his auto attacks fucking suck. At Ascension 4, Xingqiu's E can be talent level 6. This is a talent damage percentage of 235% plus 268% on the second hit. This deals more damage than almost every ult in the game. And at Constellation 4, this gets an additional 50% damage if his ult is active. And at Constellation 5, this gets to level 9 and instead deals 286 plus 325% without that Constellation 4 bonus active. This is just ludicrously large amounts of low effort burst. My Xingqiu on my main account regularly hits 5 to 8k on non-crits with this ability, and he only has a little bit over 800 attack and a plus 20 Hydro Cup. That's it. And a level 60 weapon, I guess. Now, my Xingqiu is Constellation 5, but even at Constellation 0, he still does a very large amount of burst damage every time he presses his E. Now let's talk about the real moneymaker, his ult. So at Constellation 6 and level 9, this can potentially deal a max of 5,076.5% talent damage over the 18 seconds. To give you just a general frame of reference for how much damage that is over 4 times the amount of damage that Klee's ult does over its duration. And yes, this does not include the damage output from the Constellation 2 Hydro Resistant Shred. Now, this is assuming that he's only going to be hitting 17 out of the 18 times, because there's a 1-second timer in between each of the rollouts, and it's pretty difficult to consistently get 18 out of 18 out just due to input differences. Now, even at Con 0 and just a level 6 version of his ult instead, this still deals a very respectable 2,660 average talent damage percentage over 15 seconds. This is still over twice the amount of damage that Klee's ult does at talent level 6. And again, this assumes you're hitting 14 instead of 15 rotations of your swords. So if his output numbers are this big but he's still only a 4-star, what are the important caveats? After all, how can he put out this much output and only be considered a 4-star? Well, the answer to that is energy generation and cooldowns. The balancer for the massive burst damage scaling on his E is that it's a 21-second cooldown. When you account for this only being used every 21 seconds, his general DPS is actually pretty average on his E. And then his ult is only a 20-second cooldown, but it does require 80 energy, and until Child comes out, there are just no other Hydra units in the game that can generate a large amount of energy to funnel into him. As we discussed in our previous masterclass talking about energy regeneration mechanics in the game, same element teammates do give you 3 times the energy to each other. This means if we do not build our Xingqiu to account for these weaknesses, he's actually got very low uptime on his abilities. And in fact, even if we build Xingqiu with the obvious option of just stacking as much energy regen as we can, it still takes an incredibly long time to generate his ults. And even though his C6 does generate energy, it's either bugged or mistranslated. I actually don't have a Constellation 6 Xingqiu, but I have talked to others who have him, and apparently it only generates at most about 20% of his ult recharge over its entire duration. Sounds pretty terrible, right? Well, fortunately, all of these problems are solved by Sacrificial Sword. See, Sacrificial Sword has this passive: when you hit something with your E, you have a % chance to reset the cooldown, which saves you 21 seconds on Xingqiu. On top of that, I am 95% sure that this sacrificial passive can proc on either of the hits for Xingqiu's E. So this means that at refinement level 2, you are on average going to get the proc every time you E within the cooldown limits of your Sacrificial Sword passive. Every time this procs, not only do you do twice the amount of burst damage, you're also going to be regenerating twice as much energy in the same time period. I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to have a Sacrificial Sword on your Xingqiu if you want to have high ult uptime. Without a Sac Sword, he is still strong, he's just not at this god tier level of output that I've been explaining in the entire video. Depending on the refinement on your Sacrificial Sword, you have the difference between having to wait an extra 21 seconds to get another Xingqiu ult or having it up off of cooldown. And this is the nasty caveat, because Beidou, Fischl, and Venti do outperform him if he doesn't have a Sac Sword. But if you have Sacrificial Sword, he suddenly jumps up to being, in my humble opinion, the best 4-star in the game. So yeah, go get a Xingqiu and maybe also a Sac Sword if you don't have one, and you will have a ridiculously powerful burst support as well as a reaction support for your team comps.
Welcome everyone. Today we'll have another Genshin Impact News Digest. In today's digest, we'll be looking at Donna's skills in detail. I have managed to find more details with Donna's skills and translated them with, the skills details and stats and everything we want to look at for Donna as a really powerful healer. After that, we'll look into more information on the 12 Harbingers over here that was demonstrated as a tarot card teaser by miHoYo on the main forum, and we'll come over to here for a Reddit post of the details of those. Followed by that, we'll look into a post that talks about some of the nice game changes that can come into Genshin Impact that can be really nice. And after that, we'll look into some of the fun parts about Paimon and also a little comic about Amber over here. Now, I'm sure most of us are looking towards the Child banner with Donna as a new character for the 4-star. But what exactly does Donna do, and what are her skill kits? What are her skill details? So what I did was, with the help of one of our friendly viewers, not only did we have the this writing over here, we actually have the number and stats. So what we did was, so shout out to Gans for sharing those to me, very thankful to him. The Chinese YouTube basically leaked more details with Donna. So here he's comparing Donna's stats with Razor, and what you're going to see is he's going to talk about things, and it's pretty much very detailed things about Donna's skills. He also touches on Donna's Constellation 6, which is a very powerful passive with plus 200 elemental mastery for the entire team, whoever is on the field. So instead of me trying to look at it, which is a very powerful passive with plus 200 elemental mastery for the entire team, whoever is on the field. So instead of me trying to look at the video and translate on the spot, I did a pretty comprehensive details for Donna with everything that's written, and I translated everything, Donna's constellations, interesting parts, and every skill detail. Now I'm sure most of us know that Donna's E has 2 modes. If you press it, you send out 2 claws. If you hold on to it, you send out 5 claws to jump back, and you also increase the shield as option. Whenever a claw hits the enemy, you get a duration of shield. But let's have a look at the stats for those E spells. Each of the claws will do 48% of bonus damage. The shield, each of the shield absorption is 8.3% maximum of Donna's HP, which scales with HP, plus 837. The claw duration is depending on how many claw hits the enemy. So if you send out 2 claws, you look at 4-second duration of the shield. If you send out 5 claws, you look at 10 seconds. The press has a different cooldown compared to hold. So press the shield, you get 6-second cooldown. If you hold on to the shield, it's 15 seconds. So basically it's 6 seconds with a 4-second shield and 15 seconds with a 10-second shield if you land all your claws. We can see right away Donna is going to build for HP, very similar to the Barbara. Next up, we have Donna's ultimate for her burst spell. It's a special concoction, that's my translation for it. So with the details, basically Donna will do cryo damage upon hitting a field of AoE cryo field. And this does continuous cryo damage to the enemy and also heals the allies. But what are the details? Because over here, with all the leaks about Donna and everything, so over here if you look closely, you can see that it doesn't show how much can Donna heal. We want to compare how potentially strong she can heal. And what we're gonna see over here is the burst spells over here for her damage is 80% damage to start off with the cryo damage. After that, continuous damage for 52.6%. The most important part is going to be the healing amount, which is 10% or 11% of maximum Donna's HP plus 1051 flat HP heal. So we're looking if Donna is about, let's say, 15k HP, which is very low. Usually you can get her to 20k HP. So 20k HP, we're looking at 3000 HP healing. We're not sure exactly how often those ticks. If it ticks every second, it's extremely powerful, maybe every 2 or 3 seconds. I did try to look around how often it ticks. It doesn't actually say on the leaks, so I guess when the game comes out we can test it out. If it's every seconds, I think it's too broken, maybe every 2 seconds for the heal. And what we're going to see is the duration of the AoE is 12 seconds, the cooldown is 20 seconds, and the energy cost is 80. Now knowing those stats really helps because you know what to build for your Donna, you know what items you'll be looking for. It's going to be HP percent and also energy gain. After that, what we want to do is we want to compare with Barbara first. Barbara is usually your default healer, and we're getting a second Barbara, guys. If you haven't seen that video, check it out, we're getting another Barbara. So with Barbara's E spell, let's compare the healing. The E spell healing is 4% of maximum HP plus 385 regeneration. Now keep in mind, the stats over here, some of the Donna skills are a little scaled up, because when the player was actually showing, I believe the shield was actually scaled up a little bit. Yeah, he showed the level 3 shield over here. So we look at the level 3 E spell and the level 1 burst damage spell. So that's the difference. He did show a different variation over here. Now if we come back to our friend Barbara, so you can see the 4% max HP and 385. We also get the HP regeneration per hit and also a droplet damage, which is quite nice. So coming back to Donna here, what you can see is her burst spell does heal more than the E spell of Barbara, which is reasonable, right? It's her ultimate versus the E spell. But the shield is also quite nice. The shield also gives us the defensive capacities. Even if your HP is maxed, you can protect yourself from taking damage. Of course, if you compare with Barbara's burst damage spell or the burst healing, it is much higher, but it doesn't heal continuously. Often I find with Barbara, I only heal once, then I take more damage, then I don't get healed. I have come back for the E spell. With Donna,